Today, we are going to learn about measures of central tendency. A measure of central tendency is a summary measure that attempts to describe a whole data set with a single value that represents the middle or center of the data set. There are three main measures of central tendency, namely mean, median, and mode. All three are valid measures of central tendency under different conditions. Firstly, let us look at mean. What is mean? The mean, often called the average, is the most popular and well-known measure of central tendency. It is the sum of all the values in the data set divided by the number of values in the data set. If we have n number of values in the data set and each data point has x1, x2 and so on up to xn values, then the mean is computed using the formula below. To understand this, let's look at an example. Let us consider the data set below showing the monthly house rent of 9 households. To compute the mean, use the following steps. Step 1. You need to add all the values to obtain the total. Here, the total is 94,500. In step 2, we count the number of observations in the data set. As you can see from the table, there are 9 observations. So, our small n is equal to 9. Step 3. Divide the answer in step 1 by the answer in step 2. So, the monthly mean house rent is 10,500. Now, let us look at when not to use mean. As mean includes every value in the data set, it is influenced by outliers or extreme values. Let us use the same data set to illustrate this, but now with 2 additional values, that is x10 equal to 35,000 and x11 equal to 30,000. With the new values, if you compute the mean following the steps mentioned above, the mean will come to 14,500. However, exploring the raw data set, mean might not be the best measure to accurately reflect the typical monthly house rent of a household, as most of them are paying 8,000 to 13,500. This shows that the mean is being influenced by the 2 large monthly house rents. Therefore, in this situation, a better measure of central tendency would be median. What is median? The median is the middle value in the data set when the values are arranged in ascending or descending order. But how do we find the median? The following steps are used to find median of a data set. Step 1. Arrange the values in ascending or descending order. Step 2. Count the number of observations, that is small n. Step 3. Determine if n is odd or even and accordingly find mean value using the formula given below. Let's look at an example. Let's use the same data set and compute the median. Step 1. Arrange the values in ascending order. Step 2. Count the number of observations. Here, n is equal to 9. Since 9 is odd, for step 3, we use the formula for n equal to 9 and compute the median value. That is, so the 5th term in our data set is the median and the value is 10,000. As you can see in the figure, the median value divides the whole dataset into two equal halves. In this case, there are 4 observations below the median value and there are 4 observations above the median value. Now, let's move on to mode. What is mode? The mode is the most commonly occurring value in a dataset. How do we compute mode? Let us consider the monthly house rent dataset. The steps to compute mode are as follows. Step 1. Construct a simple frequency table as shown in the figure. Step 2. Identify the most occurring value. The most commonly occurring value is 10,000. Therefore, the mode of monthly house rent is Nultrum 10,000. Normally, mode is used for categorical data to determine which is the most common category as illustrated by the graph given below. From the figure, we can see that the most common type of dwelling is a house. When not to use mode. Number 1. Mode is not unique, meaning a dataset can have 2 or more values that share the highest frequency. In such a case, a single value cannot be identified to describe the distribution. Number 2. Mode may not reflect center of the distribution very well in some datasets. For instance, consider the monthly house rent data arranged in order, as shown. It is obvious that the median of dataset is 10,000. However, the mode is lower at 9,000. In this situation, using mode as a measure of central tendency will be misleading. To conclude, what is the best measure of central tendency? Is it the mean, median, or mode? If the distribution is symmetrical for continuous data, the mean, median, and mode are equal. In this case, use mean because it includes all of the data in the calculations. If the distribution is skewed, median is often the best choice, and if the data is categorical, mode is the best choice of measure of central tendency. And that concludes our discussion on measures of central tendency. I hope you found this video informative and useful. Stay tuned for part 2 of this series where we will be discussing measures of dispersion. We are excited to continue this journey with you, and I hope you look forward to it too. Thank you for your time and see you soon.